expect it to. It will start running for liquidity. It will start running for inefficiency. If the macros do not provide that timing aspect and the market just simply doesn't budge, that is many times a beautiful illustration for you to stop looking and close your charts. Because the markets ran algorithmically. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's the facts. And if these elements are not producing movement, driving price to either inefficiencies or liquidity, if it's not showing any movement that you would expect that fits your analysis, where you think the next draw on liquidity is going to be, if that's not occurring, you have to close your charts and trade the next session. There's macros in the afternoon. There's macros during the lunch hour. Okay, there's macros in the London session. I'm showing you these two here because I just recently used them, proving that they exist. Okay, all a macro is the beginning of a spooling event. Spooling is where price starts to reach for. It reaches for, think about like a fishing rod. You ever been fishing before? And you have your hook and your weight on the end of it, and your bait's on the hook, and you cast the fishing line out into the water. What's occurring with the fishing line? It's spooling. It's running off this reel of fishing line, and it's delivering that hook, that weight, and that bait far away from where you're standing. That's what these macros are doing. It's like casting price away, higher or lower. And I'm watching these specific times a day to do those very things. It is not going to give you a direction. Okay, so when you see these people out there trying to talk about how, yeah, the macro here, this is how you know it's going to be a buy, it's how you know it's going to be a sell. No, you need to require your understanding about all the other things I'm teaching you. You still have to know how to tape read. You still need to know how to determine a bias. You still need to know where liquidity is and how you use that liquidity and work within a higher time frame analysis. Otherwise, this is not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Okay, so if you don't know everything else that I'm teaching, this is going to be a point of frustration for majority of you. I'm going to read complaints. People are going to complain about me in other people's videos. I don't care. I know how to use it. It's not imperative that you learn how to use it, but I wanted to show you, again, proof that these markets are algorithmic and they operate on the basis of time first. Time is the first crucial factor before price will move. Unless a bomb drops, unless there's some kind of geopolitical upheaval, something crazy, unexpected, swan event occurs, the markets are not moving randomly. They're not just popping off at whenever, a lot of buyers or sellers come out. They're not going to be moving because a whole bunch of people on Reddit are going to try to take down the hedge funds and go against them. All that stuff is nonsense. And all of these markets, whether you choose to believe it or not, every asset class are driven by artificial intelligence. That artificial intelligence is an algorithm, and it follows instructions that were coded for it. And it runs things based on time, period. So let's take a look at this in relationship to where I executed and how I traded it. You can see how I used this information.